Do you ever feel like you're running and running on a treadmill, putting in all this effort, but still getting nowhere? It's exhausting, frustrating, and, well, it can feel like a dementor's taking up residence in your motivation. But what if I told you that getting unstuck doesn't require a lightning bolt moment, or a visit from a fairy godmother, or a Patronus charm? What if it just takes 3 gentle mind spells to shift your perspective and help you take that next step forward? Good morning, lovely dreamers, and welcome to another video. Today, we're not about trying harder. We're about thinking with a bit more kindness and a little bit of magic. Because feeling stuck is rarely about your situation. It's about your perspective. And perspective, my lovely dreamers, is something you control.
Look at it from a different perspective.
Personal growth and following dreams is so much simpler than we make it out to be. It's about seeing the struggles, reframing them with kindness, and taking tiny steps forward. So if you're ready to hop off that mental treadmill and wander down a more enchanted path, here are 3 spells for getting gloriously unstuck. The first spell, the Perspective Charm. Now, I know this might sound a little too simple, but honestly, trust me on this. It is the foundation for getting out of any rut. Most of the time, when we feel stuck, it's because we're asking ourselves the wrong questions. It's like we're a muggle standing in front of the barrier to platform 9 3/4 asking, why is this wall here? Why me?
The gateway sealed itself for some reason.
Those questions don't have answers. They just make us feel powerless, trapped. The Perspective Charm is all about changing the question, shifting your gaze to see the magical doorway that's been there all along. You shift from being focused on the problem to being curious about the possibilities. For example, instead of the thought, I'm stuck in my job and I'll never move forward, which just sounds like a trap, we can turn it into a gentle, curious question. You could ask something like this. What's one tiny thing I could do this week to feel a little closer to a career that I love? Or, what's one new skill I can learn to make me feel more valuable where I am right now? Can you feel that shift? The first thought is a locked door. I'm stuck. The second one is the Alohomora charm that opens it. Now, this doesn't unlock the whole castle overnight, but at least it gets you into the next room. For now, think about whatever your stuck point is right now. That thing you keep repeating in your head. It could be something like, I'll never get out of debt. That could become, what's one small expense I could cut out this week without feeling deprived? Or, I'm not creative enough to start my project. That can become, what if I just played with this idea for 15 minutes, just for fun, no pressure, no strings? Or, I'm too out of shape to start exercising. That becomes, what kind of movement might actually feel good in my body right now? This isn't about lying to yourself or forcing toxic positivity. We don't do glitter bombs of denial here. They're terrible to clean. Ugh, no. We're not about that on this channel. We're about being a friend to ourselves. Like the sisters in Practical Magic, always having each other's backs.
My blood. Your blood. Our blood. Maria's blood. Now! What's your name?
It's about redirecting your brain's amazing problem-solving power toward possibilities instead of just staring at the obstacles. You stop looking at the brick wall and you start looking for the magic way through. And that is the first and most important step to getting unstuck. And now on to the second spell, the Potion of Possibilities. This is where things get playful. After you've cast the perspective charm and you've successfully reframed the problem, it's time to invite some mischievous creativity in. This is where you let your brain play. Now, this is sometimes called divergent thinking, which sounds a bit technical, but the idea is actually super simple and quite fun. It's like brewing a potion without a recipe. Throw in a pinch of nonsense, a dash of curiosity, and maybe a completely impractical dream. It's about letting a ton of ideas out, quantity over quality this time, without your inner Professor Snape sneering. Most of us live in the find the right answer mode, like we're stuck in an endless OWL exam. But when you're stuck, that mindset is a trap. Most of our lives we're taught to do the opposite, to narrow things down to the one right answer, like in a school exam. And that's useful sometimes, but when you're stuck, it's a trap. It's that voice in your head that dismisses every idea before it even gets a chance. That'll never work. That's a nutty idea. You already tried that. Letting your brain play is your rebellion against that inner critic. It's about intentionally coming up with a wide, messy, and even ridiculous list of possibilities. There is a fun exercise for this, where you take a simple object, like a paperclip, and you list as many uses you can for it. Bookmark, SIM card ejector, mini aerial, lockpicker. The goal is to let your mind wander without judgment. So, how do you use this for your day-to-day life? Let's say you're stuck on a project. Instead of trying to find the one perfect idea, set a timer for 10 minutes and list 20 possible ideas. Here's the key. Encourage yourself to have bad ideas. What's the most expensive idea? The silliest one? The idea your 8-year-old self would have? One of Pixar's rules for storytelling is, when you're stuck, make a list of what wouldn't happen next. It's a bit like trying to guess what a Bogart wouldn't turn into, because so often, hiding in that list of wrong answers is a spark for the right one. The real magic here is giving yourself permission to not be perfect. When you allow yourself to have crazy mad ideas, you take away the fear of failure that keeps you stuck in the first place. You create a safe little room of requirement for your creativity. So the next time you're facing a problem, don't search for the solution. Search for 20 solutions. I promise, somewhere in that glorious chaos, you'll find a little thread you can pull on. An idea you couldn't see before because your logical brain was standing in the way. And this brings me to the third spell, the Pensieve Request. And that brings us to our third and final spell. To be honest, this is one that feels the most like real magic. And that's my favorite. It's about learning to ask your subconscious for help. Because sometimes the answers appear when you're not even looking.
It's a pensieve. Very useful if, like me, you find your mind a wee bit stretched.
Have you ever had that thing where you wrestle with a problem for hours and hours and hours, and you give up, and then the perfect answer pops into your head while you're in the shower or driving, or you just woke up? That isn't a coincidence. That, my friend, was your subconscious mind, like a wise old wizard delivering the answer after your conscious mind finally quieted down. So many great thinkers and creators knew this. People like Einstein and Edison would use that floaty state between awake and being asleep to solve problems. And get this, Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones apparently woke up one morning and saw his tape recorder had run to the end. When he played it back, he heard the iconic guitar riff to satisfaction, followed by 40 minutes of his own snoring. The idea literally came to him in a dream. Told you, dreams change lives, my lovelies. And you don't have to be a rock star or a scientist to use this. you can make it a gentle, deliberate practice. Tonight, when you go to bed, I want you to try this. Have a notebook with you or your phone with the Notes app on, right beside your bed, and write down the problem you're stuck on as a clear, simple question. Something like, how can I sort out this disagreement with my friend? Or, what's the very next step to my project? It's like dripping your thoughts into Dumbledore's Pensieve to be sorted. But not as nice. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Then, as you're drifting off to sleep, just quietly tell your brain you'd like it to work on this for you. That's it. You're not trying to solve it. You're just handing it over. The moment you wake up, before you check your phone, just write down any thoughts or images in your head. They might feel random or they might just be the breakthrough you were looking for. This isn't just woo-woo stuff. There's actually science to it. Studies have shown that sleep, especially the dream phase, helps our brains restructure information and make connections we just can't see when we're basically in our own way. It's like your brain's built-in spellbook. All you have to do is learn how to gently open it. So there you have it. 3 magical but practical ways to get unstuck. First, there's the perspective charm. Stop staring at the brick wall and cast a charm to see the way through. Second, the potion of possibilities. Brew a potion full of messy, wonderful, and even crazy ideas without any judgment. And third, the Pensieve Request. Hand over your problems to your own personal Pensieve and learn to listen for the quiet answer. And as you can see, none of these requires a wand. Just a little courage, a sprinkle of curiosity, and the willingness to try. And now, I want to hear from you. So tell me, my lovely dreamers and magic makers, what dream are you picking up again? Which of these 3 magical spells are you going to try first? Please let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Let's cheer each other on. Sharing your next step is a powerful first move. I'll be doing it with you. I'm going to use the Pensieve Request spell tonight for a video idea I've been feeling a little stuck on. I'll write the question down and just see what happens in the morning. Remember, feeling stuck is a signal, not a sentence. It's a temporary state, not a permanent address. You have everything you need to get unstuck. You can do this. And if you liked this video, I bet you're going to love this next one. It might just be the perspective you need next. And always remember to dream, follow, do.